Hello everyone and welcome to another video from Kasum. I'm quality engineer for New Product Productions, Andres Relas. And today we're continuing with our Minitab Basics for Beginners video series. If you haven't watched lessons 1 to 5, please stop this video right now and watch those lessons first, because you'll need to know how to use the Minitab interface, how to navigate it, and how to use basic commands within Minitab. Now, for today's lesson, we're going to focus on regression analysis. Regression analysis is a way for us to analyze how an input, which is usually called an X variable, affects our response variable, which is usually called a Y variable. You can have multiple inputs, which we would specify as x1, x2, x3, and so on based on how many inputs we have. For responses, again, we can have y1, y2, and so on and so forth based on how many responses we're attempting to analyze. Now, most commonly, when you do an engineering study, you're going to have one input that you're analyzing and one output that you want to know how it is affected based on the input. So, for example, imagine that I have a temperature parameter, either because it's a clean room temperature or maybe because my machine allows me to modify temperature used during manufacturing. And based on the temperature setting that I select, I can observe the total result of that value. So let's say based on the temperature that I select is either the final weight of the part or maybe the tension strength of the steel, right? So based on the heat that I'm using is the characteristics of my final product. Now, I can do a simple engineering study where I ask someone, hey, please run the machine at 80 and take a sample, run the machine at 90 and take a sample, run the machine at 100 degrees and take a sample, and so on until a certain artificial value that I select. For this scenario, we did tests from 80 all the way to 150. The results are shown here on our C2 column. So temperature is going to be my input, and the result is going to be my output. So I want to analyze this, and to do this, all I need to do is do stat regression, and then I'll have multiple submenus. The easiest way to do this is using my first option, which is called my fitted line plot. So within fitted line plot, I can select which column contains my input and which column contains my response. Remember, response is my output. So this Y section right here would be my C2 column, and my predictor right now would be my C1 column. So I'm going to type in C2 and then C1. From here, I can select whether the relationship that I think the process has is either linear, quadratic, or cubic. For most types of scenarios, we're going to start first with linear. If we notice that our model seems to curve as it goes along, then we know that it might not exactly be linear. It might be a quadratic or cubic type of model. So I'm going to click here on the OK option. And Minitab is going to give me the result in my session window. Remember that if you don't have your result, review your navigator section here on the left side and make sure you actually are looking at the session window, which you can modify over here. Now, first things first, I'm going to get something that we call a model summary with an R-square value. It has an actual academic purpose for us to actually understand what the R-square value is and what the S value is. But for most purposes, as a general rule, we want R-square values to be above 80%. If the R-square value is above 80%, we usually say that the model is somewhat accurate between the actual raw data and the actual results that I got from the process. Now, in this scenario, I have 100%. That means that my process has perfect fit, okay? And I can visualize this down here where I have my fitted line plot. Each blue dot represents a combination that I executed. For example, when I ran at 90 degrees Fahrenheit, well, I got this result. If I cross-reference, I'm going to know what total tension result I got when I executed the study. So if I do a simple right click here, so I'll just do right click, then crosshairs. I'm going to move here to my 90 position. And I can see that overall, when I did 90, I should have gotten a result close to 132. I can confirm that by looking at my worksheet itself, and I can see, here we go, 90 is 132.50. Now, as I move toward my right side, as I increase the temperature from 80 to 150, the total tension value also increased from 120 to 220. So that means that this relationship is what we would call a positive type of relationship. Now, what would be something else like a negative relationship? Well, let's visualize it with this new example. So here you can see a C5 column has the speed that I'm using. This is going to be considered my input variable. And I have my overall result. This is going to be considered my Y variable. As the speed started to increase from 20 meters per second to 30 meters per second, the total result actually decreased from 88 to 82. I can visualize this using my regression chart. So I'll do stat regression and then fitted line plot. Within fitted line plot, I'll select my C6 column as my Y output, and I'll select my C5 column as my input column. From there, I'll click on the OK option. First things first, what is my R-square value? So R-square value right now is 100%. So that means that my model has a perfect fit. Each expectation was properly met without an actual error value. So if I look at my data here, I'm going to notice that my red line, which is formed from this mathematical equation right here, fits perfectly with each individual blue dot that I have here. And as the speed increased from 20 to 30, the actual value, which is this distance result, was actually reduced. The fact that it is being reduced means that it is a negative type of relationship. So as speed increases, value decreases. Now we keep saying perfect fit. Let's go back to my C1, C2, and C3 columns, and let's visualize a process that is not a perfect fit. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do stat, and then regression, and then fitted line plot. I'm going to select my C3 column as my output and my C1 column as my input. I'm not going to be using the C2 column. Instead, I'll use this one as the X column and this one as the Y column. I already made this column using a similar approach to the one used on the C2 column, but I added a little bit of randomness to the results. So first things first, I'm going to notice that my R-square value is no longer 100%. It is now 99.8%. So my model is a good fit, but it's not perfect. It has a little bit of an error to it. And if I zoom in, you're going to notice that sometimes the blue dot is exactly right on top of it. Sometimes the blue dot is a little bit down the red line, and sometimes the blue dot is a little bit up of the red line. So this is what we would call an offset or an error. We expected it to be exactly in the red portion of the bar itself, but some dots were a little bit farther down and some dots were a little bit farther up. Those errors allow me to estimate how much my model tends to miss. So if I expect to fall at 200, for example, which would be this position right here, my model might overshot it or undershot it by a certain amount. That is specified here by my S value. So overall, you might consider this model to fail about 1.46 units either up or 1.46 units down from the expected actual value. And that makes sense because if you go back here to the original equation, this was the theoretical perfect value without randomness, and this one failed by 1 unit. This is the theoretical perfect value, and this value was 1 unit less. This was the perfect value, and again, this one failed by nothing. So it was a perfect actual data set. So as you can see here, sometimes I'm overshotting or I'm underestimating by 1 unit or up to 2 units, depending on the probability of my equation. Now let's visualize this again using C5, C6, and C7. So I'm gonna do stat, and then I'm gonna select regression, and then fitted line plot. I'll select as my output C7 and as my input C5. After executing, you're gonna notice that again, my model is not perfect. Sometimes the dots are a little bit down, sometimes the dots are above the actual red line. But overall, the relationship is maintained. As the speed increases, the actual value is reduced. So this is what we would call a negative type of relationship. Now let's complete all the other examples that we have here. So let's look at our height column. So I'm going to do over here to C9 and C10. Let's analyze it with stat, regression, fitted line plot. My response column is C10 and my input is C9. I'll execute this and we can visualize a perfect fit. R-square value of 100%, an S value of 0, which means no error, and overall visually all the blue dots following the red line exactly on top of it. Now, question for you guys, positive or negative relationship? Well, clearly positive. As the height of the person increased, the total jumping distance increased as well. Now, let's visualize something that is not necessarily linear, okay? So let's go back here, and we're gonna look at this chart that says angle distance, this one right here. So C16 and C17. Let's do stat, regression, fitted line plot. Gonna select as my output the distance traveled, as my input the actual launching angle. If you visualize the dots right here, it's kind of like a smiley face, right? So it goes up and then it goes down. Since I'm asking Minitab to analyze this as a linear relationship, it has a really bad fit. We can see here that Minitab says, well, I mean, this is the expectation based on the equation shown here. But as we can tell, pretty much no blue dot is actually on top of the red line. As I increase the firing angle from 60 to 120, the total distance traveled is increasing. But as I increase the angle from 120 to 160, the total distance traveled is being decreased. Okay? So how do I fix this? Well, since I can tell visually that this is not linear, we can simply try doing this as a quadratic model. So I'll do stat, regression, fitted line plot, and I'll just switch from linear to quadratic. I'll click on the OK option, and now I can visualize this again. You can see that I'm still overshooting and undershooting sometimes. Sometimes the actual blue dot is a little bit farther away from the red line, but it's a lot better than what I had previously. The overall R-square value is above 80%, and I'm pretty much at 99.7%. I'm still overshooting or undershooting by about 1 unit, but that's a lot better than what I had before when my model wasn't really accurate at all. Here my model had an R-square value of 0%, and I tended to overshot or undershot by about 17 units. So really bad values. Now, I added some additional exercises here, so C18 and C19. Let's redo this. So stat, regression, fitted line plot. And now my output is going to be C18, but my input is still going to be C16. I'm going to run this. And again, you can see that this is a quadratic type of relationship. As the firing angle increases, the total distance traveled is increasing. But after a certain point, as I increase it, the total distance traveled is reduced. This is something that happens a lot when we're talking about firing angles of a distance of a ball being traveled or a rocket being launched. So if I grab this pen right here and I throw it at about a 60-degree angle, well, I'm pretty much throwing it straight into the ground, right? But if I move my hand a little bit up to 90 degrees angle and throw it, it's gonna reach a lot farther. If I move my hand over to, let's say, 100 or 110 degrees and I launch this, then it's gonna have X axis and it's also gonna have a Y axis. So it's gonna reach a lot farther. But there comes a point when I put my hand all the way up and I release like this, that you can clearly tell that I'm pretty much only moving it up and down. So it's just gonna be launched vertically. It will have very minimal horizontal component and it's not gonna reach that far away, okay? So this concludes our lesson today of Minitab Basics for Beginners regarding regression analysis. As you can see, we have linear relationships, which is just a straight line either going up or a straight line going down. And we have quadratic relationships where we can have a positive relationship up to a certain point and then have a negative relationship up to another certain point. I'm quality engineer for New Product Productions, Andres Relas. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments or send me an email to info@kasum.mx. Thank you very much, everyone, for your attention and have a great day. Talk to you soon.